in the big game is a dream for many, but only a lucky few can achieve it. I talk with players with ties to our area who made that dream a reality. They'll give you an inside look at the excitement of that special day and the appreciation they have for their hometowns. Good evening, I'm Sarah Tranelli. Some teams have faced multiple opponents and some have advanced based solely on regular season performance. But whatever the case may be, they've all worked hard to get to this point, the sectional finals. Let's go. That's right, Jim. It was an absolutely gorgeous day out here today. The rain we got earlier in the week softened up the greens. The fairways were rolling, and that meant the players were pin seeking. Let's take a look at your first round highlights. Players on the field each night at NYSEG Stadium are just 2 steps away from the majors. It will take a lot of hard work and dedication for these players to achieve their dreams, but they've got the perfect guy to lead them here in Binghamton in fifth-year manager Pedro Lopez. Former player and manager Yogi Berra said it perfectly. Baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. Current B-Mets manager Pedro Lopez preaches that saying in his locker room.
To get to Double-A, you got to be a good baseball player, number one, obviously. But Pilo works above the shoulders, more the mental side of baseball, trying to understand the situations and what's going to happen in the game before he tells you.
Lopez is a minor league guy. He spent 13 years as a catcher in the minor leagues, winning a Double-A championship under current San Francisco Giants skipper Bruce Bochy in 1992. He knows the minor league system is a struggle at times, but his message to the players is to work on the little things.
I wish I would have a manager that come up to me and say, don't worry about the results, it's just make sure you focus on the process. And if they do that, they're going to be okay.
For starting catcher Jorge Carrillo, having Lopez as his manager is a treat. They share a catcher's bond that not everyone understands. Carrillo says he is always learning, and the opportunity to pick the brain of a baseball veteran is invaluable.
Not everybody's played this position, and people that haven't played it, it's just hard to explain what you have to really go through mentally and physically. So in that aspect, he's really helped me, and I think it's one of the reasons why I've been successful.
And Lopez has helped out outfielder Kyle Johnson work on his best tools, speed.
For me, I'm fast. I'm a base stealer, so he taught me how to, what counts to go in, how to watch the pitcher, what to look at. So I think that really helped me a lot.
From the office to the dugout, Pedro's influence is everywhere. Just like on the base paths, he's sending guys to the next level.
Not just being an outfielder, but understanding the whole game in general, what the other team's trying to do, what we're trying to do, and kind of be a coach of the game yourself. I think Pilo does a really good job of that.
We're just going to keep doing it, trying to get as many guys as we can get up there, and with the mentality of, we got to win, because if they win down here, and they're going to be winners from, for the years to come.
Lopez was inducted into the Binghamton Baseball Shrine in 2015 after leading the team to its 3rd straight postseason appearance. He had a shot at a position in New York, but for now says he's looking forward to bringing another championship to Binghamton. Good evening, I'm Sarah Tranelli. There was a lot at stake for the Maine Endwell football team in the Class B title game. A win would give them 51 straight wins, tying the state record, and it would give them 4 consecutive state titles, which has never been done before in New York State. All that on the line, but the team standing in their way, Shelmont, the same team they faced in last year's title game. Defense set the tone early. Opening drive for the Sabres. Adam Gallagher steps in front of the pass and returns this one 25 yards, 7-0 Spartans. On Shelmont's second drive, they go through the air again, and this time it's Michael Palmer with the pick. He's just so athletic. On the ensuing drive, Palmer makes an even bigger catch. It's my favorite combo, the Balmer to Palmer special. 35-yard beauty, and just like that, it's 14-0 Spartans. To the second quarter, Gallagher gets the toss and punches it in, and the Spartans take a 21-0 lead into the half. To the third quarter, Shelmont trying to get something going, but the ball slips through Nick Gallo's hands and into the hands of Adam Gallagher, who takes off, and there was no catching him. He takes it 95 yards to the house, and the Spartans take a commanding 27-0 lead. But to the fourth, Shelmont with the ball down 14, under a minute to play. On the halfback pass, it gets tipped by Palmer and lands into the hands of Devin Higgins, and all of a sudden it's a one-possession ball game. But the Spartans recover the onside kick and secure another state championship, 27-19. Maine Endwell wins its 4th straight title, thanks in large part to a guy who has been there for every one of the 51 wins.
Great player, show up in big games, and he proves once again that he's a great player.
Isaiah Kaczynski grew up in Endicott, New York, where he was a three-sport athlete for the Tigers. He took his football career to the next level at Harvard, where he became the first person to start all 40 games and was a first-team All-American his senior year. He was drafted by the Seahawks in the 4th round of the 2000 draft. After beating the Panthers in the NFC Championship game, the Seahawks faced off against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 40. Kaczynski was a special teams captain on that Seahawks squad, and this opportunity was one he dreamed about since he was a little kid.
I remember walking out onto the field and just being overcome with emotion and just realizing how special that moment was, how many people had helped to get me there, for everybody from Endicott, from my coaches not only in football, wrestling and track, and the teachers and my family and friends. It was an amazing moment, and I was there to be able to represent Endicott.
The game was full of big plays as the Steelers jumped out to an early 14-3 lead before Kelly Herndon's 76-yard reception set up a Seahawks touchdown to cut it to 14-10. Pittsburgh responded with a big 43-yard touchdown of their own to clinch the game, but the game was marred with controversial calls, including an offensive pass interference call that cost Seattle a touchdown in the first quarter. Criticism came flooding in following the game, but Kaczynski said all that mattered is at the end of the game, the scoreboard read Steelers 21, Seahawks 10.
The fact is, it did come down to either make a play or you don't. That's what I love about football. There's no gray area. Either do or you don't. And we didn't play as well as we needed to win the game. And regardless of what calls were made, and it didn't matter. And there's very little room. The only thing that makes sense is what that score is at the end of the game. But just so happy and proud to have played in that game.
Kaczynski has accomplished many things in his life, both on the field and off. He has won a lot of games and played on the biggest stage his sport has to offer. But through it all, he has never lost appreciation for where it all began.
It started in Endicott, New York. And the people from my grade school to my middle school to my high school, not only on the field of football, but also in the classroom, it set me up in such a way where there's no way I could have achieved that without the solid foundation.
Many people think of golf as an individual sport. In many ways it is, but here out on the professional level, it's very much a team. The person standing next to the bag doesn't always get as much attention as the player, but their role is just as crucial to the player's success. I found that out when I got the chance to be a caddy for a day. I'm Sarah Tranelli here with fellow Rochesterian Jeff Sluman, and I'm going to be his caddy for the day. So it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm glad I get to do this today. And what's the biggest thing that you look for in a caddy so that I know what I'm looking to do out here today?
Well, the first thing you did right was you showed up on time, so that's number one. And then after that, just make sure that I'm calm, cool, and collected, and we'll have some fun.
All right, I'm here with Doug Lloyd, Jeff's caddy, and caddy team out here. A lot of people think golf's an individual sport, but it's a team job. And what are some of the things that you do out here that are most important for his success?
3 things: you show up, you keep up, and you shut up. That's probably the 3 most important things. So if you do those, you're going to be pretty successful.
Golf's certainly a mental game as much as it is physical, and how does the caddy play into that situation there of the player's mental game?
I think you just try to be the same every day. And so no matter if you're playing good or playing bad, you try to be the same. That's the most important thing.
All right, here we go. 94 and 15, so what club's that for you?
It depends. But today, with the wind, it doesn't feel like it's downwind right now, does it? It's supposed to be downwind.
Feels a little lattice, huh? Never a doubt. Good putt. Well, we got 3 holes and 2 birdies, so how'd I do out there?
Well, you did very well. I think you could have a career in caddying, but thank goodness you don't need one, But, there's a little more going on than people think. And I believe the average viewer gets out there and he thinks it's boom, boom, boom. But there's a lot going on that the caddy's responsible for that really does help the player. And hopefully you got a little taste of it.